Hi everyone. So tonight I actually want to talk about something that's quite personal to me, something that's helped me really tremendously in my career, but in addition to that, something that I think we can all walk away with today and action immediately to help close the gender equality gap. But before I do that, I'm going to grab the clicker and I'm going to share with you some of the hard facts of today. So the number of women in leadership positions is actually declining, with only a handful of forward-thinking organisations making this a priority. As it stands, from the latest WGEA statistics, the average pay gap between males and females is 17.9%. As of November 2014, in Queensland, women earned an average of $1,257.50 per week, whereas men earned an average of $1,581 per week. And in ASX 200 companies, there are more men named Peter, David and Michael than there are women in the top 400 positions that are CEO or chair. So what happens if we did achieve gender equality? So there's no argument about the business and economic benefits of doing this. Countless studies have proven that more diverse organisations are more profitable, they're more productive, they have a lower turnover of staff, and in addition to that, gender inequality is consistently cited as an underlying determinant of violence against women. So as I mentioned at the start, I do want to share a couple of stories. Through my work at DCC, I'm speaking to women every single day that are experiencing the same things that I have and some of the challenges. And these stories, they're around women and building and embracing confidence. So when I was about 21 years old, I got a job as an account manager at a very large, well-respected IT and telecommunications company. And my role there was to look after the enterprise and government clients. Now, I remember starting that role really excited, ready to take on the world, but it wasn't long before that confidence was completely shut down. Now, that had nothing to do with my ability to do the role. I was performing at a really high standard. But what it was how I was treated by my male peers. So, for instance, they would ask me to go and get them coffees, take their notes, get them stationery, essentially treated like I was their assistant. Now, I really wish I had to push back more on those situations. And it wasn't until one day I was in a meeting and there was about 12 of us, so 12 of my male peers and myself and the manager. And the manager said, "Oh, Gemma, can you take the minutes for this meeting?" And then something actually made me push back. And I really politely said, "Oh, I've actually got a lot I'd like to contribute to this meeting. Would you mind if somebody else took the minutes?" And straight away, another guy raised his hand. He was like, "Yeah, sure, Gemma, no worries, I'll take the minutes." And I was actually shocked. And that was really a defining moment for me, because what I realised is that these guys weren't doing it on purpose because they didn't value me. It was completely unconscious. And I thought, if I'm really going to progress in my career, I have to start being more confident. I have to start valuing myself more and really pushing back on different situations. But it's not just men that I've experienced this with, it's women as well. So I was going for a job at another IT company, did the first stage interview over the phone with the HR manager, all went great. And then the second meeting was with the sales director of the time. And this lady, who by the way is now one of my closest friends and professional mentors, she's openly admitted this to me, that when she first saw me, she made the complete wrong judgment of me. So I'm pretty sure I was dressed, you know, a bit smarter than I am now, black skirt, button-up shirt, but I'm sure in her mind she saw something that looked like Legally Blonde. And so I'll never forget walking up to her, and the first thing that she did was look at me and then look at her watch as if to think, this is going to be a waste of my time. And then we sat down and I realised she's not asking me any serious questions here. And I thought in my head, okay, I know I can do this job, I really want this job, I've got 30 minutes to turn this around. And that's exactly what I did. So 30 minutes later, she's telling me she thinks I'll be a great fit for the role and I'll be on to the next stage, go through to the next stage, and then comes the job offer and the salary offer. And guess what? The salary was a lot less than I knew they were originally offering. And I thought, no, I'm not going to accept that. So I negotiated up to the right level as well. So Building confidence wasn't easy for me. I had to work on it a lot, so it sounds maybe right now like I'm quite extroverted, but at the start there were things that I had to constantly work on. And one of the ways that I did that was via personal branding. So for those of you that don't know what personal branding is, it's essentially who you are, what you value, and it's how others perceive you, whether that be your clients, colleagues, your managers, or your subordinates. So it's really, really important to work on your personal brand. And I did that basically by laying out, okay, what are my values, what are my beliefs, and then where do I want to get to in my career? I built really strong alliances with people around me. I got myself a mentor. I did a lot of personal and professional development. So, you know, not just reading your business books and that sort of stuff, but also on the personal side of things around motivation and confidence and all that sort of stuff. And then I really tried to build up my online presence as well. So, you know, using channels such as LinkedIn, Twitter, internal social networks. And one thing that I haven't got up there was also volunteering. Volunteering and going to industry associations. Via doing that, I really built up my networks and managed to get on the board of IT Queensland. So men and women have a responsibility to understand that women by nature are a bit more modest, and we tend not to, you know, beat our chests and try and go for that pay rise or get that promotion. So I want to ask you today that next time you're in a meeting and there's males and females, I really hope there's males and females in the meeting, not just males, are you only asking the women to take the notes, or are you spreading it equally across both the genders? If a man calls in sick from work to look after his child who may be ill, what are your thoughts? Are they, why isn't the woman doing that? Or are you perfectly accepting and even encouraging that it's great for a man to be a primary carer and share the load with the female? So men and women, I ask you to go out there and try and build up your confidence. Don't accept that lower salary and go for that promotion. And men, support the women around you, and women support other women. Thank you.
That's wicked. Well done.